Welcome, precious souls. Welcome to my space. I was called to come and speak to certain people, very specific, definitely a specific group that, to put it more narrowed down and direct, they are empaths and the journey that they got to, that they went through to get to this point, and that is that they suffered and went through or are going through narcissistic abuse, other varieties of abuse, and yeah, they've walked through some stuff. But that's what was screaming out at me, as it was enough a kind of a group of people going through abuse to the point where they suffer trauma. Okay. And yeah, narcissistic and spousal abuse really came to play. So, what was shown to me was the Empress card. And of course, a lot of you, especially I didn't back when I went through mine, but a lot of you don't realize that you walked through those fires of hell, if you will, because you have a very divine purpose, an extremely important purpose, okay? It gets really deep. It gets really involved. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this. I'm going to see how much I can fit into this one for you, but I'm going to, of course, have other content available, okay? So what I'm being told to share is you came out of that and you were meant to go through that because you needed, it was more or less in a nutshell, you pulled out the dark side. You gave somebody an opportunity. If you look at yourself, honestly, it's like you're an earth angel, okay? You are here to trigger some people. You're here to heal people. But they're always given the option. They're always given the option of which side they would like to spend the rest of their years. Would they like to work in the positive light? Or would they like to choose to remain in the darkness, following that kind of a devilish attachment that they have? Okay, so remember, there's a whole world full of unhealed and healed people. Now imagine you were born into a certain family for a certain reason, to pick up on certain traits that were going to help land you in these kinds of relationships. And this has been a constant cycle. And it's not just necessarily romantic partners. It's also people at work, people at the schools that you were in, your neighbors, your friends. It's just you'll look back and see the series of the patterns of the same kind of unhealed people, that they love bomb you. Then they, as soon as you start calling them out on some of the crazy stuff that they do, when they start little tidbits, doing things to see how far they can push you beyond your healthy boundaries, if you even have any, right? We all develop them in our own time. And then once they are allowed to continue to cross the line, because don't kid yourself, they have been doing a lot of research on you long before they get into your space that steady, okay? Like, they have figured out your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. I used to find notes that were written saying how to talk to the person, how many family members, if they're close to them. It can get really creepy, okay, what they do to find out information about you. And I feel like I'm meeting you face to face to let you know, as someone who's survived narcissistic abuse, how you view them while you're going through this trauma bond or while you were in it is a complete illusion. It is exactly and literally a mask a persona that they've created since they were young, since long before you. They've used this persona with everybody. And that's why when you do confront them, even though you know what they've done, they even know what they've done, they will even create lies and change the reality and believe the reality to protect their ego, because their ego and their ego is all they have. They have such deep-rooted, unhealed insecurities from their childhood, that exposure or accepting any kind of a vulnerable circumstance where they're expected to be accountable for what they've done, it would almost like be the end of their world for them. Okay, they need to believe that they are this persona that they've created. They even, in the eyes of the community, make themselves usually look like heroes, always donating, volunteering, or they definitely like to put themselves high up the ladder, in a place of authority. They will do these things so that they have more control over their environment, over how they're perceived. Um, yeah, and they are extremely charismatic. Often, there's something about them that's just naturally attractive, and they play on that. Yeah. So if this sounds familiar to you, the gaslighting, where you try to confront them or try to hold them accountable for something they've done, and they flip that script or they switch it around and gaslight and they put it back on you, and or they say that's not how it went. They play like you're crazy, and they do. They go around behind your back and tell everybody you're crazy to protect their credibility, which is a ball of lies. So I was told to come and talk to you about the Empress. You're here because you were meant to go through this, overcome this, defeat these demons. Yeah, yeah, that's right. To get, you were almost like the bait sitting there. Okay, you were doing the work of God, the Creator Spirit. They had a chance. They were given an absolute angel, which is you. Yes, nurturing, loving, kind. Oh, you're flawed too. I mean, you had to learn something through this too, right? But and I'm going to tell you right now, reactive abuse. So you know how they use this thing where they will shove and shove and shove and push you into a corner and do absolutely everything to push your buttons, like to extreme. Like it's kind of really sadistic, the levels they'll go, emotionally, psychologically, sometimes physically, financially, yes, all those ways, until you absolutely explode. And then they like to have somebody show up. They just have somebody in the corner listening in, or more commonly these days, they'll have their camera on watching you completely lose your control over your emotions, bawling, screaming because you can't take anymore. Because what the viewers of the video don't see is how much you were tormented, even for days. They like to really chip at you, okay? And drag it on. Every holiday, you know what I'm talking about. Every holiday is destroyed, every birthday, every special occasion. Just before you get to that, they'll play it up like, oh, get you all excited, and then they'll make it not happen. The event, the thing you're excited about right before. And they will do anything to create these. Or they'll wait until the crowds leave so it looks like they were the hero, then they'll trash it on you. And then they'll blame you. So yeah, that's because, do you realize how strong you had to be to get to this point? You were chosen because you are that strong. You've been through these lifetimes before, and you're getting so incredibly good at having discernment. See, you are not stupid, crazy, or any of those things. They target only the best of the best of the best. The cream of the crop. Not even kidding. Because they need something that looks really good on their arm. They need someone who's going to help manifest what they want, because they are not in tune with their higher self. They cannot manifest. And these guys are greedy. Greedy. It's not even the word. Self-absorbed, selfish, greedy, very unhealthy people with attachments from dark spirit realms, okay? They have no strength. They are weak. And they rely on what is known as supply from people who are kind, sensitive, forgiving, tolerant, patient, very devoted, won't leave their side, will continue to give over give, people pleasers. They like to just give, keep everybody happy, will walk on eggshells, will dismiss or make excuses for them. Yeah, you. If you're seeing this, you. Okay, so this is a part of your healing, because you are the Empress. You are that beautiful light, that angel that is meant to trigger these people. And they get more and more cruel as time goes on. You know this. If you've walked through this, you know if you're in it now, I can't express it fast or hard enough. Get out. I don't care. Don't give me an excuse. Take the dog too. don't leave the dog behind, okay? Like, get out. These guys are actually demonic monsters. They don't even have a soul. And I'm not being dramatic. They have no soul. You ever notice when they get in that dark mode, their eyes actually change. They turn like completely black. And sometimes you'll see things happen with their ears and stuff. It's almost like something isn't right. Yeah. Okay. Definitely, if you suspect you're with a narcissist or someone like this, do not get laying with them in bed, because by having that bond together in bed, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not allowed to say on here. It bonds, and it bonds their attachments to you. That's what a big part of the trauma bond is. It's like sex magic. If you don't believe that stuff's real, you might want to do your research, because doing those things with someone who's a karmic, who's dark, narcissistic, abusive, that sets you up for a whole world of problems. And that's where your intuition goes right out the window. That's where they develop that trauma bond with you. They create. It's literally like spell work. Like, you're under a spell, you're under a trance. And anybody who's left that situation, which you know how difficult and how strong you'd have to be to get through it, because of the cult games they play with your head and everything. But if you've gone through it, you know what it feels like to be under that spell and under that trance. It's like they fry your brain cells. They fry your brain cells. And it literally creates massive, toxic dumping of cortisol through the body, which also, by the way, it's from survival mode, like fight or flight, fawn, freeze. You're in survival mode because of the level of abuse you've gone through, and especially over a duration of a long period. It becomes not just post-traumatic stress disorder, but chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. It's because of these constant cortisol dumps where your organs shut down while that's happening. Okay, so you're in fight or flight. You get the anxiety, the heart palpitations, all of that stuff, and you go into your mode to survive. And all the while, you're pumping your body full of this cortisol, which destroys your organs. You age super fast. Okay. When they keep you in it, and it's almost like they know the recipe of just when to make it. They give you a little bit of bread crumbing, say, oh, look how wonderful, everything's wonderful, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden they'll slam you right after. It's like a constant cycle. Only they change up the cycle. They know when they know just when to do everything. And these constant, your body gets into this pattern so much so that it doesn't know how to get out of that. And in fact, once you even break away from the narcissist, you're still in this trauma bond. And honestly, the best thing that could happen is you get your bestie to tie you up, put you in a room, just make sure you get lots of food and water, and lock you in there for a series of time, and get some counseling, learn more about it, because you absolutely need no contact with that abusive person. Absolutely no contact. None, no excuses. Oh, but I have children with them. Then find a person who will email middle ground, or be the middle person. Their sole purpose is to get a reaction out of you. And every time they do, they steal a piece of your soul. Not even kidding. They steal a piece of your soul. They are out to destroy you, because they know your light. And their little attachments, these dark spiritual attachments, they know what your purpose is. And their prime directive, as much as you have a higher purpose, they have a purpose. And their purpose is to destroy all light workers. Heavy topic, eh? And I mean, this goes pretty deep. Same as drinking alcohol and drugs and everything like that. They usually have massive addictions, sex addictions, alcohol, drugs, you name it. They've got their addictions. That's all the devil that's got a grip on them. Even drinking alcohol, you have to be really, really mindful. Like, I mean, I never used to have a problem with having, a glass of wine or whatever, and going out and partying, dancing with my friends. Of course, I'm going to have a drink. If they're having a drink, we're all having a drink. But you have to be careful because drinking actually opens up portals to things. Especially if it's overdone, you have to really keep your head on straight because it's kind of an invitation, especially if you're in a mindset of suggesting to life that I don't feel capable of handling the stress I'm under, right? Like you just got to be careful and mindful. They're called spirits for a reason, right? Okay, so that's kind of that rundown, and that's part of what I was supposed to tell you. The reason you went through the backstabbing, the massive betrayal, all of that, again, was part of their agenda. You could not have done anything different. There will be no possible way that in the future you could change any of this. You cannot heal these individuals. You cannot heal them. You are never meant to. It's not supposed to happen. It's not going to happen. You cannot do that. You need to save yourself and go. Okay? And you know that deep down inside. You've got a higher purpose. The star. You've got a higher purpose. There's a reason why you went through this. And so you have the strength. You've learned strength. You've learned self-worth through this. You had to get past childhood scars, trauma. And I don't mean you didn't necessarily have to have the worst childhood ever. Children get traumatized by things that a lot of people don't realize because they're young, right? So you seeked out someone who resembled one of your parents that might not have been completely healed, except it was maybe more to an extreme because you needed to learn this lesson. You needed to learn how to love yourself. You needed to learn how to speak up, be heard. That's part of your purpose, probably using your voice. You needed to learn how to feel comfortable alone. You needed to learn how to show up for yourself, advocate for yourself, and to learn discernment between these people who are unhealthy and people who are authentic. You also needed to learn how to be authentic, see authenticity, recognize it with discernment. You needed to learn a lot of lessons. And your soul signed up in this life to do as much of that as in one big shot, okay? One big shot. And each time you met up with someone who was a narcissistic, unhealed, abusive person, you got a taste of it. And sometimes the lessons got harder and harder. Sometimes it got more volatile. Sometimes, even when you thought you were healed, you get hit with another person that laid it on thick and they try another manipulation. This was all to get you ready as your Empress self to step into this higher purpose. So yes, you were absolutely and are absolutely meant for a massive higher purpose. Now, I'm also being told to remind you, you are a master manifester. That's why they latched onto you also. They could not manifest, so what they would do is install ideas in your mind, and he would make it happen for them, like a little puppet. Your energy protected them because everybody under your energy in your area is divinely protected like you. So they got out under that radar, but also they were able to get you to focus on things that they want, and boom, it would be manifested. Yeah, I know. They always played it up like they did that for you, right? Trust me. Remember, you are that amazing. You broke through a master manipulator. Yeah, master. Like they could be cult leaders. So now, remember, you're pulling back all of your power. You're pulling back all of your energy. You are cutting ties. Google that, guys. Cutting ties with all karmics, any energy, entity, attachment that isn't yours, people, place, and events, and timelines that aren't yours. You're cutting all that energy, cutting the cords, and you are giving that with love, forgiveness, appreciation and gratitude for the lessons, and compassion to God, the universe, the creator, to do with it as he sees fit. And once you cut those cords and you give it over to your spirit guides and God, the creator, the universe, that's when all of their energy that they tried to put on you returns to them. And you are very, very abundantly rewarded for standing in that and going through that. You're rewarded. A lot of your dreams come true because the energy's called back into yourself. And everything that you missed out on, everything that was taken from you shall be returned one way or another. Doesn't necessarily saying they stole this much money from you and here's exactly that amount. Trust me, you get everything that was yours and some. And you get your wealth, you get your security, you get your love, you get your abundance, your wealth, your prosperity, all of these things, whatever wealth is to you, comes back to you. That's why we never, ever, 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 not that it's within you to do this, but you never, ever, ever want to be vindictive. You hand it to the divine to deal with because they can deal with it a lot more powerful and appropriately than any of us can. Okay, and you don't want any karma. You don't want to do tit for tat. That just puts it on you. And the sooner you can get out of their energy and away from them and cut all ties, the sooner you will not be wearing this dismal, ridiculous karma that is supposed to be theirs. That's right. That's why everything's so difficult for you while you're with them or keeping in contact with them, is because you carry their karma. It attaches to you. And so that's why they just keep going like the Energizer Bunny and keep creating, and your life force is being sucked out from under you, okay? And out of you. Okay, I know it's not funny, but this is how I've always had to laugh through tension, because that's what gets me through. And like I said, if you are right now with one, I'm not trying to be a fear monger, because they play on fear and heavy, hard emotion. That's why they try to get a reaction. But I'm just saying, take the pets, take the children, go. There are shelters, there is family. Even if it's warm enough, it's almost better outside in a tent than being anywhere in the vicinity of them, because they honestly don't care. They don't love you. They don't even love their own children. They're incapable of love. That's right, they don't love themselves. So do your research, and remember, the whole reason why they chose you is because you are so powerful. And they're terrified that you're going to find out how powerful you are. And what awaits you on the other side of this knowledge is incredible. Like, yeah, incredible. And it's worth going through the short-term discomfort to get where you want to be, because there is massive celebration. Okay, massive. There is constant rewards flowing in from all of the seeds that you've sown that you never had a return on before because they were living off yours. There is absolute divine guidance coming through you more purely. Once you get away from them, it's like all these chakras open and you have divine guidance pouring in through you. Like literally your psychic abilities, which yes, you have, whether you found them or not, or whether you realize now that they're blocked while you're under their spell, they return. Only mega return, okay? Mega powerful, like you always know without knowing how you know. You just know. And definitely it is a journey in healing, but it becomes, I remember wondering, how will I ever, ever, ever stop looking back, or stop hurting like this, or start believing in myself? Because yeah, they rip you to shreds. But you know what? Part of the journey, and it just happens one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. Part of the journey is so beautiful, and you learn so much about yourself and your life and what it was all for and what the meaning was all along this healing journey. And you will find out that there are so many people who've gone through that like you. And you are going to be one of those people that shares your story and brings so much love and comfort and strength to people who are going through those tower moments. Yeah, because I think that's what you might be going through right now. If you don't leave, life will make you leave. And it's really freaking uncomfortable when life makes it happen. They make it so uncomfortable that you have no choice but to leave. Okay? Because this person is extremely toxic and you do have a very important purpose. Okay? So it's time. It's time for you to trust As much as you believed that you loved that individual, or that you were loyal to that individual, or that you were under that individual, you were so much more than that. You have a massive purpose, and you are going to have something much, much better and not toxic, and it will be healthy coming towards you once you cut all ties, okay? It will be on the other side of this, and you will actually probably be pretty floored how that comes about. And it's magical. Okay, so I was supposed to share that with you. I don't really always like talking about negative things, but you know what? If I hadn't taken my leap of faith, that's crazy. If I hadn't taken my leap of faith, I don't know if I'd still be here alive today. And I certainly wouldn't be sharing my story with you. And I want you to understand that although it seems like there's always a choice, there's really no choice, and you know it. Your soul is screaming at you. It's not just that an amazing life waits for you, but it could be your life, because it is sucking the life out of you. You're aging quickly, and it happens more and more with the passing of time. It's like they put a straw in you and drain you. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it's time for healing. It's time to be vulnerable enough to go tell your family and friends that you need a place to go. Tell anybody. Reach out. There is so much information out there now, and there are so many people willing to help, that ignorance cannot be used as an excuse anymore. You know, save the dog, save the cat, save the birds, save the kids, get them out. All of you, get them out. And if this is what you need to hear, because this is another part of the truth, don't think for a second that what they're doing to you is not affecting everybody you love in your family, and your friends and everything in your energy. Because energy is transferable. Okay? So it's not just about, until you find your self-worth strong enough that you would advocate for yourself, and then think of everybody else, which is what your end goal is going to be. Until then, realize that it does affect everybody else. The children, the pets, the family, the friends, everything. It affects all of it. Yeah. You're a part of it all. It's all connected. So it's time to get out of it. And then afterward, you'll see how it saved you. Because you have such a beautiful heart, and you're so kind and loving and nurturing, and you think you're doing this person a great service by helping them. If I just do a little more, you're allowing them to destroy you so long as you stay. And it's not worth that. And yes, once you discover your worth and discover why you're really here, oh boy, yeah, you're going to be glad you left, and glad you took the time to heal, and glad you stopped looking at them. You don't need to give, even thinking about them, you're giving them energy. That's why they try to get reactions. That's why they try to get you to respond. That's why you block their numbers. You block everything. Block it, block it, block it. It's even worth it, no matter what, to find anything, that any attachment you have to this individual, block it. I'm getting, angels are like making my ears ring right now. Like, your guardian angels are with you. That's what they're saying. They're with you the entire way. They've been with you since birth, and there is nothing terrifying. There's nothing more terrifying than staying. Okay, got it. I think I said that right. I am a physical extension of creative, non-physical energy. This is what I'm supposed to read you. You are so much more than the physical body you have come to know as you. You are source energy. And you are focused on a leading edge of thought. So in this powerful now, you hold the key to allowing the source that is you to flow. The better you feel, the more you are allowing the connection. So again, they try to keep you in that low vibrational mode. They try to keep you sad, depressed, terrified. All of these negative emotions, because that way you cannot connect with source. You cannot not protect and hear your inner voice and the angels, which are screaming at you right now. Okay, like if you're still in the maybe you've already left there. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm just thinking I need to get anybody out that's in there. It's like a burning building, and I know you know what that means, what that feels like, but it's like a burning building, and I want to get them out because we know what it really is. Um, okay, my purpose in life is joy. The basis of your life is freedom. The purpose of your life is joy. You are free to choose new avenues for joy, and in your joyous growth, you will add to the experience of all that is. Okay? So, literally, these are our purposes. Our main purposes for coming here is to live in a joyful mood, which keeps our vibration up, which helps us to create, which makes us happy, but it also expands the universe, and it just keeps adding and adding and adding. We learn. We're here to learn also, because when when we learn something, we put those tools in everybody's tool belt. It actually enhances the heightens the vibration of the entire world, of each individual. And in the spirit realm, we're developing a bridge from heaven and earth. We're doing massive things by remaining joyful. And guess what? You can't be joyful if you're in an abusive situation, and that's why they do it. Okay. I'm also supposed to tell you, I'm also supposed to tell you that even if you've been following, there are a lot of interesting readings and stuff that you can see on the reels and stuff. It's great. People are sharing, tarot readings and such, which is great. I'm so glad that we're all able to communicate and teach and share information constantly now, because we can help each other out. We can all help. But there are those that are maybe not experienced enough, or they're still in their learning journey when they're doing these tarots or readings or channeling or whatever. And just keep in mind that you need to use discernment. Trust in your own instinct if something resonates with you, because our mind can quickly latch onto something. And especially if it's something negative, it can hold on to that. And remember, you're a master manifester. You can create that reality by focusing on it. So even if you've heard them say, your divine feminine or divine masculine is trying to get to you now. It's time to forgive your divine masculine, divine feminine, because they're going to come in and it's going to be a reunion of twin flames or soulmate. Okay. I want you to realize, because we, as humans, our minds can fixate on something, and then once we fixate on it, we almost get married to it, right? And then we just put the blinders on, like, I can't see anything else. So try not to assume that anything is a certain way, because if we've learned anything else in this world, it's nothing is as it seems, and it's all an illusion, really, okay? It's all how you perceive it. Everybody's truth is different. It's how they perceive it, how they, their behavior patterns are, what it is they project in the world, what they pull back, what they've got a closed mind to. So many dynamics. So if somebody says, or if you believe, that is my soulmate, and remember, a lot of narcissists and twin flames and narcissists, that's like, I don't even like almost using the twin flame term, because that is like narcissistic sometimes, right? You're there to trigger each other, and sometimes you can't tell the difference, and you're being told that this could be your twin flame, so you're thinking you got to keep coming back to them in life. We're supposed to get married. We're supposed to have kids. We're supposed to change the world. Wrong answer. And by the way, okay, and I'm not saying that, there are those that come together and separate, and they learn, and then they grow together, and they come back in their own time, and everything's wonderful, and that's like a level up. Everybody's powerful. There are so many aspects, but I just want you to be cautious and mindful that we all have many, many soulmates. If you look at the definition of a soulmate is a connection you had in a previous life. And you have had many other lifetimes, especially with the purpose that you're in this life. You've had many. You've been married to many different men and women, and you have been many different men and women, okay? Like masculine energy, feminine energy, okay? So what I want you to understand is, in this life, there are many options and many soulmates and many karmics, people we've had a contract that this life, we're going to come and we're going to be the biggest jerk to you, and you're going to teach me this, and I'm going to be that. We have many, many little contracts too that we've made before we got here. Lessons we wanted to learn, ways that we could learn and strengthen ourselves to become more powerful in the spirit realm and to bring forth change on earth. All of these, there are many. So if you're thinking that you have to chase somebody, keep them in your grip because they're meant for you. No. And if you have to chase somebody, they're not for you. Okay. If they don't show up exactly in a way that's healthy for you, that can respect your healthy boundaries, or at least you'll know what I'm talking about. That's healthy and not abusive in any way at all, but also open to heal with you, or you'll know, and I know you know, especially after these episodes. But just keep in mind that a soulmate, a twin flame energy can create themselves. They can become a karmic, a devilish side. They could choose to be that darkness and stay in there. And so by holding and latching onto them, you literally are destroying your existence and not going with your purpose. So some of them will even pretend to be that. Oh gosh, when I first met you, do, because they've already studied you. They know what buttons to push, what you love, and all that stuff. So, anyways, I just want you to keep in mind that even if someone is, you honestly believe you're dating them and they appear to be a soulmate, they can change. So at any given time, if somebody does not resonate with your energy, if they're not treating you right, if things have dropped down, if you realize, hey, they're love bombing me, I'm not going to wait around to see how bad this gets, you have the freedom to choose, and that could be a lesson instead of a love, okay? Okay, I'm going to leave you with that because I have been talking so long, but I felt like this was something important and I was meant to share, and I'm sending you so much light and love, and you are amazing. You are one of the strongest warriors that have found yourself on this planet for a reason. You've gone through things like this before in past lives, and that's how you're being able to navigate and find your way this time. And you have all your guardian angels, even some very powerful assigned archangels, your ancestors. They are all around you. Your spirit team is around you, and they are constantly giving you signs. Pay attention to the numbers on a clock, license plates, songs on the radio that remind you of things, everything. Birds, feathers, dimes, you will know what I'm talking about. There are signs. Follow them. Remain true to yourself and don't buckle. Hold firm to your boundaries, because what you're going to learn, if you haven't already, is how absolutely amazing you are, and how all of that was just a facade to try to keep you feeling small and to keep your light dimmed. And you can't do that anymore. It's time. You're being called. So lots of love and kindness and light back to you all, and healing on your journey. If you have questions, maybe want to book your own personal readings so that we can talk one-on-one, you can email me at paintingsbycatherine@gmail.com. You can visit my website, www.earthangel3811.com. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, earthangel3811. Again, sending you all the warmth and hugs. Every minute that you go by without contacting them or falling for their crap and not being reeled back in, and having one day that you treat yourself with such love, which is what you're meant to do. Everything you poured on them, pour it back. Each day you do that, you are becoming more and more of a powerhouse, and it does get easier. Allow yourself to feel it. Don't suppress it. Acknowledge it. I am going to give you the closure you need if that's what you need. I'm going to tell you right now, they will purposely not give closure for a reason. Don't fall for it. I am definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? I am validating everything you went through is real. You are not crazy. I'm validating that every feeling you had, you were not oversensitive. You are perfect the way you are, and they tried to rip that apart, okay, because they're sick. So hold strong. Keep your chin held high and walk in confidence, because in even just a little short amount of time from now, you're going to see the difference and you're going to be mind blown. And I'm so proud of you.